So this is TBA with Felicia and Jane, and we're here with special guest for you, the Moon.
Hi, guys!
Hey! So how was your commute here?
Kind of harrowing. We almost got into an accident.
Yeah, so I'm not really good at city driving, 'cause I'm not really from here, so it's always an adventure, we'll say that.
But we're alive, and that guy's alive, and
Right.
we're
I only
all
got flipped
here.
off, like, for maybe 5 minutes, because he just was, like, right next to us after that.
It was very eerie. He didn't beep. He just was, like, tailing us.
Yeah.
Very eerily. I'm glad it's over.
Yeah.
So tell everyone where you came from, because you were telling us when we were downstairs about your travels.
Right,
We
well,
came from the womb, first. And then...
we came from nothing, actually. Yeah, I drove down from Albany this morning, so it was a little bit of a hike.
That's
and
a
then,
drive.
And then we had to make it from Astoria, where Cathryn lives, so...
Neil and I are in a long-distance musical relationship.
Right.
Wherein I am based in the city, he's based in Albany, New York, which is my hometown. And every time I go upstate for holidays or a little excursion, we get together and we make some music.
Yeah.
So,
That's where the home base is located, too, all the studio stuff. So.
the Death Star.
Yeah. The secret plans.
Oh, that's cute. So for people who don't know who you are, can you give us a little introduction to your band and tell us about your music?
Yeah. We are an indie synth pop band, right?
Sure, yeah.
We span a couple genres.
There's like a few more things. Maybe
yeah.
maybe folk sometimes.
Yeah. Mainly we like to blend acoustic instruments with electronic sound. So
Yep.
Neil will sometimes play acoustic guitar while we have some synthy, digital beats behind it. Call that what you want to. We were interviewed by a Japanese radio station a while ago, and they called us dance pop. So maybe we're dance pop.
Yeah,
I
we'll
don't
go with
know.
that. I feel like that's probably the least accurate, but but I mean, you could dance to it if you wanted to.
If you wanted to.
I couldn't, but somebody could.
Japanese can.
The Japanese can.
So, how did you two meet and form into this little band you got going on?
Yeah, well, it's kind of like a lifetime in progress, right?
Yeah.
I probably met Cathryn when she was 8, 6, something like that.
Definitely a little older.
Older?
I think I was 12.
12.
Neil's sister Claire and I are best friends. And growing up, I just was always over at Neil and Claire's house. And it was only until I was in college that Neil called me and was interested in having a girl sing on his former band Reynolds' album. And I said, sure. And I kind of, growing up, always kind of wanted to make music with Neil, but because he was a couple years older and because he was the brother of my best friend, that just wasn't a thing.
Yeah, it was just a little weird at the time, but
Yeah.
I don't know.
And so that
Good
was...
things take time anyway, but
Yeah. And so that was kind of like a dream come true for me, the fact that he asked me to just lend some vocals in his band, and we did that. And then a couple months later, Neil got in touch with me again and said, so I made a song, and it's definitely not Erilyn. This is something new. Do you want to come over and I'll play it for you? And that song was Hard to Get, which is the first song on our album. So that's where that began, I guess.
Ooh, that's so exciting. I love that.
Yeah.
yeah, wow. That was it's kind of like refreshing for me. I was like, how did this all happen?
Right.
It's like just going back into the memories, and you're like, oh, wow, it's really been like that long. I'm like,
an
wow,
origin
we really
story.
did that.
Yeah, it was like 6 years ago, too,
Yeah.
mind you. We got together about 6 years ago, and only recently has the ball finally started rolling, which
Yeah,
is
we
lovely.
kind of only got serious about like actually doing the like real band thing and making something happen with it. Maybe like what?
3 years ago?
Yeah,
2 or 3 years ago.
2 or 3 years ago.
Oh, wow.
But
Yeah.
yeah, that first track on the album was like probably like 6 years old, and it went through so many like different stages before
It was full out dubstep for a while.
yeah, like back when dubstep was like the thing, it was definitely had some like wobble bass and stuff.
Oh yeah,
it
very
was,
cringeworthy. We should
yeah.
dig that out sometime. We
Yeah.
should
They like
spin
a
old
video
hard
of
to
the
get.
evolution.
Yes,
Oh my
exactly.
god, we should.
It was like full on like Church's electro pop when that was big, like that 80s retro thing.
And
So
they're like, oh, maybe we should just like do our own thing that we feel instead of like trying to like grab onto whatever, you know?
yeah, so a lot of marinating happened over those years, and it's really crucial for a band. I feel like there's such a push nowadays because youth is glorified and there's such a push to put things out very quickly that I'm really glad we took our time.
Yeah.
We waited 4 years before we even put anything out there to
Yeah.
begin with.
I don't think we would, be doing this like we are right now if we had kind of like pushed it out then, because it just, I don't know.
It wasn't ready.
Yeah,
and it was
ready.
dubstep, and that died.
I think. Sorry to any dubstep.
I don't think.
I'm looking at Vlad.
No. Okay.
Shaking his head.
They're
Well,
like-
it's like EDM now. Like
Right.
that's the thing.
There it is.
Right?
What are you kids
No.
listening to now?
anyone?
So this goes kind of right into our next question, which was like, how did you find your sound and what musical influences does your band have?
Yeah, I mean, it kind of runs the gamut, and we'd be a little remiss to not say that, we were teenagers in the early 2000s to mid 2000s, and what was so huge at that time was emo music, and, what's so, yeah, it's like cringeworthy and like definitely embarrassing to go back to listen to now.
Nah, don't knock it.
But I definitely still listen to it, guys.
No trash.
Oh,
Okay.
fantastic!
All right.
We're in good
I'm
company.
like, wait a second.
Because I guess at that time, these bands were they were not only singing about pain, but they were like demonstrating the pain in, heavy distortion guitars and dissonance, and also literally screaming by the lead singer. And where other bands, again, would only comment on pain or just sing about it, these bands are dramatizing it.
Right.
And for me, that was just so captivating in a way that I haven't seen before. So yeah, we are emo trash, of course.
Yeah. I mean, definitely want to be like, emo revival, whatever.
Sure.
For sure.
But we both are big Kimbra fans as well.
Yep.
She has had a big impact on our music, especially her first album.
Yeah, especially that. But like also right there with that, I mean, Panic at the Disco all the way. Like, come on.
Yeah.
Never
I
really,
love Panic at the
Arsons.
Disco.
never really got over that
well.
phase.
Yeah.
So.
And also, Neil's band right before this was a metal band, Ashes of Atrocity.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to say that doesn't also have
Sure.
some influence in our music as well, some post-hardcore and some metal that we both really like a lot.
Yep.
So.
Ooh, fun.
Your dad will like the metal part.
Yeah, exactly. My dad is such a metalhead. It's all he listens to. He'll listen to our radio show every week. Every week he always listens to it. And he's like, oh, the show is really, really good. And I'll be like, would you listen to any of this music? He's like, absolutely not. He's like, but I think the show did really good. He's like, I really like that thing you were talking about whatever. And I'm like, oh, like, at least you're listening. I'm like, oh.
Well, he probably won't like our music either, but we,
No,
we come
probably
from like
not.
metal backgrounds.
We're
So.
sympathetic.
He'll appreciate the thought about it.
Right.
But he'll probably be like, no, not gonna happen.
So, Cathryn, last year you made your Broadway debut in Natasha Pierre and the Great Con of 1812. How was it working on your band and making music while also performing 8 shows a week? Like, how did you balance that and then end up cranking out your, like, double EP album, whatever we call it, at
Yeah.
the end of October?
Yeah, I mean, it was crazy, absolutely. That show demanded everything of me. It challenged me physically. We had to climb a lot of stairs in the show. The way that the stage was built, we basically, as ensemble members, were all over the place. So I was in the mezzanine at one point. I was all the way down to the orchestra at another. It was musically challenging. I played clarinet in the show as an ensemble member. Vocally, it was challenging. I had to sing high C's, and I also was acting. So not only all of that, but I was doing it 8 times a week. But as it goes, momentum leads to more momentum, and I knew that we had a dream together to finally share our music with the world. And the beautiful thing is that with Comet came the most amazing and robust fan base of anything I've ever been a part of. Many were young people and teenagers. A lot of members of the LGBT community, and a bunch of people who were so supportive of the ensemble, which is unheard of in in anything nowadays. I mean, you just think of a Broadway show and you think, of course, the star is going to have, a huge fan base, and Josh Groban did, and we were so grateful to the Grobanites who came and supported us. But, us as ensemble members were freaking out because we were slowly getting dolls and fan art and keychains and, like, beautiful crafts of our individual ensemble characters.
Yeah, I was pretty blown away going into your dressing room and seeing like the the mirror with like all the tags of like fan things, and I was like, holy cow, this is like so real right now.
And my character name is Female 19. Like, I didn't even have a name. I was the clarinet girl. So I knew that, using the vehicle of Comet and the blessing that it was in my life, that this would be a perfect moment for us to work a little extra, like work super hard and release our album. And it was perfect timing.
Yeah, not to mention the support of, like, your castmates and stuff like that has been super helpful.
Yeah,
Just, like, awesome people all around.
And, like, a cast of musicians. Like, the entire cast had bands, solo acts or bands of their own, and everybody played instruments. So, in between shows, we'd get together and be like, hey, listen to this new song I made, or just jamming out. So it was really, like, such a wonderful experience.
Yay.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
I love that. That's so cool.
And then last summer, you wrote the feminist jam of our lifetime, Pussy Power.
Oh my god.
I just want to call out. Because I love it.
It's amazing.
Yeah, I mean, what was so cool about the women's movement was that, obviously everyone was flocking to DC in January of last year, but I unfortunately was unable to go to DC to join because I was out of the show on an injury, and I was so frustrated because I just wanted to be part of that crowd. So instead I realized, all right, if I can't physically be there, what other talents do I have? And it's like, well, I write music, so let's just write a jam. And a lot of the art and a lot of the messages coming out of that were surrounded by anger, and very justly so. I mean, we have a lot to be ticked off about. But I kind of wanted to turn it on its head and be like, yeah, we're mad about these things that we still have to deal with, but I want to, like, turn it into kind of an anthem. I kind of want to, like, turn it into a jam and have people dance in the choruses and realize, like, we're still fighting for these things. We're still mad about catcalling and being objectified, but we're gonna, like, have a party anyway. We're gonna just kind of still live our lives here.
You got so much, like, an outpouring of, like, help and support from, like, everyone kind of, like, threw in their time and stuff to help you do that. So
and Neil as well. He mastered the track,
yep.
Which was so awesome, and we just had an outpouring of help from people. You're right. It was a blast. It was so fun.
That sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It's great to know how that song all on its own originated.
Exactly.
And then you also collaborate with a lot of different bands and artists, and what's that like to be able to do that as well?
Yeah, again, like, the blessing of Comet was that we all play a lot of different instruments and we all have our own bands. So once Comet closed, I found myself just automatically being the band member of, like, 4 different bands, which was wonderful and also very busy.
Also, I'm jealous, so hands off. No.
Yeah.
Like Neil.
Yeah, what about me?
It's definitely kept me busy, especially being, in between shows and trying to find the next thing. It's really wonderful to be involved in, so many other different acts, and it's just a great way to see each other. There is a thing called Broadway bowling that a lot of past Broadway shows still participate in just to see each other, and we don't do that at all, and instead we just, like, play gigs with each other. That's our Broadway bowling.
But, like,
gigs.
even that whole thing, though, it's been, like, beneficial to us like crazy. Our first show, we had what, like 10 or a crazy amount of guests that, like,
we had like 12 special guests.
Yeah, helped us out so much. Like, we had violins, we had horns, it was awesome.
It was so exciting.
Yeah.
We enlisted our cast to be our band also. So like, the footage from that show just, like, gives the illusion that we're, like, an 8-piece band. It's like huge like horn section and strings and not the case.
Yeah.
We're just a duo. But it was a blast.
Well, then in a lot of your shows, you all play a lot of different parts of your band. So how many instruments do you each play? I know.
I think you got me beat, but I'm up there. Let's see.
Neil's up there.
Guitar, bass, drums, piano, violin. That's about it.
5.
And he's a
Yeah.
programmer
About 5.
extraordinaire.
Yeah, and yeah, I do all like the studio work and like all the
So count
recordings and
6.
stuff too. So
The
if
studio
you
is its
want
own
to,
instrument.
if you want to count that, she's
Do I
definitely
have to
got
count?
me beat.
God,
Yeah, you gotta count. Just do it to him.
I've never actually counted, so let this be the only
Should we
time
keep
that I
going?
do
Keep
this
like a
ever.
tally?
Yes, because I actually don't even know. It's clarinet, saxophone, acoustic guitar, electric guitar, bass, mandolin, ukulele, drum set. Let's say drum set.
Sure.
Drum set, cone, hand percussion. Let's all loop that into one
Okay,
instrument.
that's one finger.
Oh, that's one?
Okay, I'm doing it on my
1, 2,
fingers.
3,
General
4,
percussion.
5, 6,
General
7, 8. We got
percussion.
an
Right.
8 with a question
Terrible
mark.
trumpet, terrible trombone.
Oh, I don't know. It sounds pretty good on the
We're gonna start
recording.
using your hands.
I
next.
did learn
How's
trombone
that?
just for our one track,
Hands are fun for
Head in the
the
Clouds.
Yeah, those are all real horns. On
Okay,
that,
great.
Played by Cathryn.
Played by me.
Right, 10.
Terribly.
10.
Recorders?
Oh, more.
Counting recorders.
Yeah, I'm counting
All right,
All right, if we're
recorders.
doing this, I'm adding instruments afterwards. 'Cause I can totally play the tambourine.
All right, tambourine. But I looped drum set, percussion. Go.
All right, I can play the whistle.
You can play
Wait,
the
we're
whistle.
finishing Cathryn first, then we'll go back to you.
Sorry, I'm getting jealous over here. My bad.
11.
Bad piano.
Okay, cool.
I can count.
And let's call that it. Let's call that. Did I say
That's
bass?
12,
I said bass.
Yes.
Probably,
Oh, yeah.
that's enough.
That's
12.
enough.
That's plenty.
12.
Add
then.
whistle
Here's my
to
little-
add whistle to Neil's.
Yeah,
Whistle. Add kazoo to Neil's.
yeah. Please, it's important.
So we're at 12 to 7?
Yeah.
In the theater shop, they had a whole bunch of they had a box of free swag from USITT, and there's a kazoo. I'm like, I'm gonna take this kazoo and I'm gonna play. And you know what? The insides were gutted, and so it wasn't a real kazoo.
Oh.
And it's the most disappointing moment of the past month.
Heartbreak.
It
Besides
wasn't
being
a
wrong
real
hands.
kazoo.
No.
It's,
It
how
was
does
just an
that,
air machine.
how does that happen?
I feel like a kazoo is so simple too. How's it not even a real one of that? Which is just
How did they gut it? It's
I don't
two
know.
little pieces. That's
Yeah.
It's like one little
It was
circle.
by
That's
the technical director's office.
Oh,
Someone
that makes
probably
sense.
made
Also,
a
how
few-
disappointing, your time to shine with your kazoo solo and you're
Yeah.
given the dummy kazoo.
I know.
how
It's
do
just
you-
not fair.
It's
Life's not fair.
mortifying.
It's a hard life.
So, how about you tell us a little bit about it and the making of it?
I guess we can call it an album. I don't know what you call 8 songs. Please, some other musicologist define for us what 8 songs is.
I think it's an
I
album.
consider anything more than 5 songs to be an album.
Great.
Cool.
5 or less is an EP.
Kind of sometimes you call it online. It's a double EP or an album, and I'm just what can we put it as in our notes?
I think we
Yeah.
build it as a collection of songs.
Yeah, these are songs we made. I don't know what to call that.
So in your collection,
Yeah.
in October.
Perfect.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with that.
Yes, we released on September 25th. We had a release party on the 6th at 54 Below. We packed the house. We were so excited with the turnout. And we did it. I just felt such insane satisfaction with the fact that we started the thing and we finished the thing.
Yeah. And that we pulled it off.
And we pulled it
at all.
off. Yeah,
It was
'cause-
pretty daunting when we were getting down to the few weeks before the show. We're still kind of well, I'm supposed to play 3 different instruments in this song, and I don't really know how I'm going to do that.
Exactly. We
So-
both operated blindly in that we were all right, we made the thing,
Yeah.
and now we got to figure out how to play the thing. And
The studio is a much different place than live, and we've kind of been figuring that out,
yeah,
as we go.
It's been a fun little trial and error
Right.
process, and we're trying to make electronic music more performative. Me personally, I'm so turned off by the laptop on the stage, and then you press the space bar, and then someone singing. For me, if I'm gonna charge money for anyone to come see us, I want to give them a show, and so I play on this thing called the Native Instruments Machine, which is essentially like a MIDI controller. But we make it a little more performative, where I trigger some samples, I trigger the track, and Neil plays guitar or bass or anything else that he's playing.
Yeah, and also a bunch of our shows, you played ukulele and
Oh, yeah, that's right.
you kind of just, I don't know. We've done it different every time. I've played different like instruments for different songs that we played multiple times, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like I played bass on Hard to Get the first time. Now I'm like playing guitar on it because it just made more sense. I don't know. It's just
Yeah.
kind of like little tweaks like that as we've gone show to show.
Yeah. We have a lot of freedom to switch up the auxiliary instruments that we play because our tracks are set in stone. And that's kind of fun. Gives us some freedom to toy around a little.
Yeah.
What was it like writing and creating the album before you went out to perform it?
Well, so I was out of Great Comet for about 3 months on an injury. And it was kind of kismet that even happened because I had to come home to rehab to get back into the show. And Neil is in Albany. Neil's house is 5 minutes away from my childhood home. So I was over Neil's house every day.
Yeah, and like, as horrible as this is, I was kind of like, oh my God, Cathryn's home. I'm so glad she got hurt.
Right? Like,
I mean,
thanks.
not like that, but you kind of like that.
In like
though.
the most loving manner. You're like, I'm
Yeah.
so happy you're here. Not that you're
Right.
hurt and you're out of what you love, but
Yeah.
you're here.
I'm so glad we're getting this opportunity. Thank you, injury.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it was true. Like, I was only out of the show for 3 months. I missed nothing. I got back into the show for all the TV appearances, for the Tonys, for everything. So it really was a crazy, amazing coincidence that I came home. I was over Neil's every day.
Yeah, we just hit it so hard.
Took no breaks. And we finished writing everything.
Yep.
And then over the course of the summer...
And
it was
rewriting.
And rewriting. It was recording and it was tweaking and we had the deadline of this 54 Below show to be our release, so we just had to finish.
Yeah, we were pretty much like, at one point, we were kind of like getting down to the wire with it. We're like, these couple of songs aren't done at all. Like, we're like, we know how it's supposed to be, but it's just not working. But
Yeah.
it all came together, and we're super like happy with how it came out for sure. But it was definitely a little sketchy for like a second there. Like,
And it's a testament too to having a deadline. Like,
Yeah.
we, especially with electronic music, we will tweak forever, and that's what happened when we were first starting out. Was
Right.
that, obviously Hard to Get was heavy electronic dubstep, and then that died. So we're like, great, reevaluate, remix this to the more 80s synthy pop thing that was happening in 2014, and then that has kind of fallen away. So it's like, now we have to remix, and it's so wonderful that we had the hard deadline. So it's like, we will finish this and we will stop and we will release our baby into the world.
yeah, and it really forced us to just be like, what are we doing? We're gonna be 50 years old, like
Before
still
we release
remixing this
anything.
song until it's like perfect, whatever. So,
Exactly.
yeah.
I mean, what you can do with the song now is that because you constantly changed it every couple of years, just continue changing.
Just continue.
You release
re-releasing.
a
Continue
remix.
changing it, so
Yeah.
you're working with the
Exactly.
times. The
Right.
song will never go out of style.
Exactly.
Very true. And
So
that's
just keep working
exactly
at
what
it.
we had in mind.
Yeah.
So put it on the to-do list.
For every album, just remake the song again, and then you'll be
Yeah.
like, "Is this the same song?" And listen to
Just
it. And they'll
release
be
the
like, "No,
same
this is
8
different."
collection of songs every like couple of years.
Just completely
Wow.
remastered.
This is
Buy
the
it.
plan.
This is the plan,
We
Neil.
finally got it. All right. Yeah.
All right, so this question comes from our intern Ken, and he just wants to know who's on the album cover, and whose ride is it in the photo.
Whose Sweet Ride is
Well-
Oh, sorry, whose Sweet Ride. Let me underline that.
Emphasis
Sweet
on
ride.
sweet. Okay. Well, this is super top secret and wasn't ever supposed to be admitted, but that's me as a really little kid.
Oh,
That is Neil as a baby.
should
Yeah.
have printed it out to hold it up.
Oh, no.
We'll cut to it here in the editing.
Oh,
And actually,
yeah,
there's
yeah.
kind of a funny
Boom.
story behind that as well. We're
yeah.
like,
Love stories.
this is back to the deadline thing. We're like, so we finished. We have no name for the album. We have no name for any of the songs. We don't have a picture. We don't have anything. And so I just happened to be like, at my grandmother's like camp or whatever, and I was just like looking through this old like photo album, and I saw this picture, and I just like snapped a picture of it and sent it to Cathryn. I'm like, we need something like kind of like old and like throwbacky, like this picture or whatever, not this one, but just like something like that. So like something like retro. And she's like, oh, what about that picture?
Like, that's it for me.
And I was like, oh, well, all right, okay. So, like, that album cover is literally just, like, a picture of a picture.
It's an iPhone
Like,
picture.
I didn't even, like, scan it really.
Whose
You're
Sweet
like,
Ride
okay,
is
that's
it?
it.
So that was my dad's car when I was super little. It's a Datsun 280Z. I I don't know the year. He'd probably be disappointed that
I
I
don't know
don't know
anything
the
about
year.
cars,
but,
so-
I know nothing about
but at least I
cars.
know the car.
There's a question
Yeah.
for Ken. Oh, Ken knows.
Ken's like, yeah, that's good. That's good.
Yeah.
Now you know.
Now you know.
The more you know, get a little star. Just
I'd like to also direct everyone's attention to our amazing Brooklyn College Radio sippy cups that we were given. I'm a
Yes.
little afraid of emptying the contents of my sippy cup because it will provide a really terrible slurping sound for all to hear.
Interns.
However, thank you, Brooklyn College Radio, for supplying us with swag and extra large crew neck T-shirts
Yep.
hooray!
that will be
With
featured
pockets.
in our next '90s throwback R&B video.
Right.
Yay!
So excited!
Cathryn gained a nightgown.
I own a nightgown, guys.
So, if you could have one of your songs in any movie or television show, which program would you choose? Why and what song?
Movie
Or television program?
or television program?
Okay, this is tough. Wow.
You know, let's go for broke. The next Fast and Furious. Like,
Yes.
Fast and Furious.
Yes.
Everyone likes Fast and Furious. Well, there's like, what
Harry
number
wanted-
are we up to? on
9?
Fast and Furious.
It's got to be
I
up
heard they're
there.
contracted for 11. Does anybody know?
We talked about
Whatever
this like
at.
3 interviews ago.
I know, but
Some of
that
our
was 3
first-
interviews ago.
Can we talk? I don't know if this is
Like 3 or 4 more
like
movies,
we
by the way.
can't.
Is there?
Okay, so the
So contracted for a couple more,
more.
so we'll be okay.
We'll add it to the to-do list with getting Iron Tom's song in Fast and
Are
Furious.
you putting the notes right now? Oh, Jesus. Jane has like this very specific note section.
TBA Unrealistic Goals.
Ah.
The book.
Okay.
We're gonna write a book on it.
Wait, no, we're actually
So-
dead set on this. We
I
talked
know,
about
I
it
know.
before.
We-
Fast and
we-
Furious all the
Got
way.
it.
I was just playing like I didn't know which movie we were gonna pick.
What
The
song?
movies are just like that's
he
it.
said yes and.
Because
All right. Yeah. Harry Hayes.
from Iron Tom wants one of their songs to be in Fast and Furious, so we're going to mail a flash drive to The Rock to get it in. So we'll just add your track.
Well, The Rock's
Perfect.
the one who's going to decide, though, so
Yeah.
it's on with this other band.
So no, we'll add your song also to the flash drive.
All right, okay.
Maybe we'll pick both.
Which song do you want?
See Me Go, the one that you're about to hear. It's a brand new song.
Ah, yeah.
Hey, how
It's a
exciting.
brand new
Well
song
done.
that we're plugging.
Yeah.
We love
Oh,
music.
while we're on that subject, we have like, what, 10 plus new songs, maybe more, that we're gonna narrow down into like 8, probably.
Yeah, we're gonna do another 8 songs and let people decide if that's an album or not.
And you're not just going to release the same ones and remix them for the next couple
Oh,
years
no.
that we just decided?
We're gonna do that too. I think we're gonna actually start a new band and like put out another 8 songs as a new band and
Okay.
kind of like have those
Parallel
bands be
universes.
like, you know, enemies? Arch enemies?
Okay, so Fast
I did it.
and
I
Furious.
slurped. I slurped, everyone. See?
Yum.
I'm
water.
refraining. That's
What
what
a
you would
movie.
hear, though. So, having restraint.
So Fast and Furious, the new song.
How exciting.
We'll pump the
Fast
flash drive.
14. We'll like push it.
Yeah.
Okay,
Fast
give it a couple
14.
years.
Specific.
They're probably like
Ooh.
filming Fast 14 right now.
They're
They, like-
probably filming like 3 of them at once, maybe. They're like, oh, let's just throw all these together and
We'll pull our
divide them
strings. We'll see what strings we have. And then we'll
out.
pull
Maybe
them.
they just been continuously filming it just throughout, and then they just pick and choose what piece they want, and they're like, all right, we'll just throw in one area. That's one movie.
The last one's gonna be called Fastest, I think. And that'll be it.
We all have walkers.
The fast. Alrighty. Next question. If you could tour with any artist, who would it be and why?
Jeez, you're coming out with the zingers. We've thought of all these things actually.
Yeah, we've totally prepared all of
Um,
these things.
For me, it'd probably be, I'm gonna say Panic at the Disco, right? Because
That's a
Yeah.
probably be a pretty awesome party every night.
And they've gotten a lot more digi and electronic and dancey and
Yeah, like
super fun in recent
modern, yeah,
years.
modern Panic at the Disco, not
Yeah.
like, yeah.
Not like their folk.
But I'm not going to be
Yeah.
mad about, like, you
Well,
know.
any Panic at the Disco.
Yeah.
Doesn't really matter.
I'd say that family and, like, you know, God, Kimber's a dream, and
Yeah.
that'd be super great. Pie in the sky here.
The Rock.
The Rock.
His musical side project.
Yeah. But I also, God, I mean, I love just the local DIY scene, and I have such devotion to my comic castmates, too, so, like, you know, I'd love to just God, if Mary Spencer Knapp was touring, I'd love to tour with Mary Spencer
Yeah,
Knapp. Or,
exactly.
you know, Starbird and the Phoenix, if they toured. I love just supporting my peers. And, you know, while I'd love to tour with someone already signed and a big name, I think it's more important that we lift each other up
Yeah, you're
on each
super
other's
right.
shoulders. So maybe more local bands.
Yeah.
I love that.
Sharing is caring, you guys.
Hey, we know a few people who are small local bands.
Do you?
Do we?
Yeah.
Are
Yeah,
you
we
guys
do.
small local bands yourselves?
Oh no, I stopped playing instruments when I graduated.
Ex-small local band from Arizona, Luminary Holiday. Woo! I got like a Facebook notification about it.
God, that's such a cringe.
Yeah, no, I got a thing when we all went to prom together. I got to learn on Facebook about it.
I have no musical talent following my high school graduation,
And
so
you
I
can
have
run a
stopped.
radio show. That's
Okay,
musical
like
talent.
I don't play instruments anymore.
You could play Silent Kazoo, though. I know you could play
Yeah.
Silent Kazoo.
Silent Kazoo.
I'll bring
Yeah.
you.
Okay.
You could play. We'll give you a solo on next week's show.
Will you really?
Yeah.
Oh boy!
Can we just replace the want wah with Silent Kazoo now?
Yeah. It's your cue.
I don't even know what that would sound like, though.
Probably just
Probably
like
terrible.
air.
Yeah, like a hardcore whistle. That's high.
It's just a fart. A Silent Kazoo is a fart.
That's just it. That's perfect.
Mm.
What a mood. What a mood. So, if you could play in any venue, where would you play and why? That can be anywhere in the world, or like in New York.
Oh my god,
you-
Terminal 5, who knows? I don't know.
Space is
I
also
was
on
saying
the
like it
table.
could be in space.
Space
So
is
many
also
things in
on
space.
Yeah, everyone's like, well, now that space is on the table.
Okay, yeah, if space is on the table.
People...
Are time machines on the table?
Yes.
Okay.
Everything's on the table. It could be anything.
Alright, so hear me out.
Alright,
Alright, so
Neil.
Terminal 5.
I'm
Big
talking
space.
like, if we can film, like, right before the dinosaurs got wiped out by the meteor, just, like, rock it real hard, film it, and, like, get out back in the time machine before that's, like, you know, before we're hit by the meteor, but, like, come on.
You guys
Riding
could write a
velociraptors,
really
for
good book about
sure.
that, too.
I like this a lot.
Yeah.
Make some dino pop?
Yeah.
Yeah, dino pop.
Prehistoric pop.
Prehistoric pop. That's our
Roarcore.
genre, you guys. That's what it
Prehistoric
is.
pop. I actually really
Prehistoric
like that.
pop.
People make life discoveries at TBA with Felicia
Yep.
and Jane.
No, I'm telling you, we got some
Prehistoric pop's just a bunch of
dino
like
pop.
cavemen grunts and groans.
Yep.
And, like,
And, like the bone xylophone.
you know we have to make this a thing now.
Right. Yeah, once we have, like, money for a music video, if that ever happens, definitely prehistoric pop, for sure.
Title track.
That's where we're going with
Bone
it.
xylophones
Yeah.
and grunts and groans.
Yep.
It's good, you guys.
It's gonna
okay,
sound
for it.
awesome.
You heard it here
I'm actually
first,
really
folks.
excited for that. That sounds like that sounds really fantastic.
So, you were telling us how you just wrote the music for a play.
I don't have it on here.
Because I wrote it on,
Yeah,
that's why.
okay.
So you just wrote the music for a play. Tell us about it.
Yeah, so this playwright named Katie Schwartz, one of her plays, of which won first place at one of the New York Fringe Festivals, came to my and Neil's 54 Below show, so our album release party. And she really loved our sound, and she was actively looking for a band to write rock music for her play. So not a musical, but a play with music. The play is called Caring for the Dead, and it's about a 23-year-old girl and her sister, her older sister, and their father tries to kill himself by drinking. And the entire play is their father asleep. He's not in a coma, but he's asleep in a hospital bed. And throughout the play, the protagonist's name is Georgie, and she meets kind of a D-bag. Can we say D-bag on the air?
Yeah.
Kind of a
A
like
real jerk.
a real jerk. Lead singer of this band, the titular Caring for the Dead. And one of the criticisms about the play as she was developing it was that people wanted to hear the band. There was a band that was featured in the play, but at that time there was no plans to have any music in it. So she then commissioned us to create transition music, but then also come up with the concept of a live onstage band to serve as the band Caring for the Dead.
Right.
And this character, Asher, who's the lead singer, would, run up and front the band, commenting on the action that was happening in a bit of a Greek chorus kind of style. And what was so insanely exciting for us about this project is that we wrote it in 3 days. So
That's incredible.
it was kind of crazy. I mean, we wrote it, but also produced a really high quality demo.
Right.
In
Yeah,
3
we
days.
wrote and recorded and, got it as a, made a product essentially.
Wow.
Yeah, shipped it off to her by the end of the 3rd day. Not without heavy, copious use of Red Bull.
Right. Yeah.
And we kind of played Wisest Wizard. I don't know if you guys know that game, where you play it with beer,
Yeah,
usually.
Normally, but
And you stack your beer cans, and whoever has the tallest staff, please don't think that's an innuendo, whoever has the tallest staff wins, and is the wisest wizard.
wins
and
another beer.
Wins another beer. However, we did it with Red Bull,
Yeah.
and that's how we did it. But Katie, the playwright, was super organized. We
I'm
were
still
pretty
actually
organized.
shaking from
All those Red
from
Bulls.
that.
Not sponsored by Red Bull.
That was like 6 months ago.
But please, Red Bull, sponsor us because we need more Red Bull.
Yeah, I'm addicted now.
Let's do this.
But it totally awakened in us the fact that we love doing this thing.
Yes.
We love writing music for things.
Yeah.
And we're pretty dedicated and actively pursuing more work like this.
I really love the fact that we also kind of stepped out of our band to make this music or whatever. It's not For You the Moon music for a play. It's a totally different style. It's not like us at all. And that was really fun to do because we just wrote a bunch of songs in kind of the style of a rock band, or a post-hardcore rock band type of thing.
Yeah.
So it's it doesn't really sound anything like us at all. And that was super exciting to do because we just got to kind of show these other interests we have in it. So it was really neat. And then also just making all the transitional music and stuff like that. I've always wanted to do some kind of orchestration for I don't know, TV show or just a low budget film or whatever, And it was just awesome to kind of get the, get that in motion. you know?
Yeah. And we were just coming up with these really neat ideas off the fly where, in a play there's rising action where, this is very literary termy, but if you think of it as a line graph, dramatically plays begin with some exposition, then there's rising action, there's a climax. And we decided to kind of punctuate that line graph with spanning subgenres in rock music. So we start off the play in more of an ambient post-hardcore kind of world. We advance to more radio rock. We have a butt rock song. Neil, do you
Yeah.
want to describe to them what butt rock is?
Oh my god, if you don't know
Please
what butt
do.
rock is, holy cow. It's the textbook butt rock would be definitely Creed, Nickelback, maybe
Yeah.
Buck Cherry, the yeah sound, that kind of thing.
Calling
Right?
it 2000s white male rock.
Yeah. Well,
That's how I've described it to everyone.
so here's your new term. It's butt rock. And the reason, and I've stolen this from South Park, I think, is where it's originally from. It sounds like they're constipated, but they're somehow still taking a dump in your ears. So that's where that comes from.
We at For You the Moon are not above toilet humor.
Right. Oh no, we're below it actually.
I'm learning so many new things
Yeah.
today.
I'm laughing so much my bronchitis is coming back.
So yeah, writing that butt rock song was pretty awesome though. It's kind of nice to get a yeah out there every now and then.
I have never heard of that term before today, and
Okay.
Jane is dying.
I've never heard it described that way.
Yeah. So
And then it's eventually, we do post-hardcore and we do a metal song in there.
Yeah.
Metal is the height of all rock, so
yeah, Cathryn screamed her butt rock off.
I screamed.
Or
I screamed
whatever.
in a song, which was so fun for me. So yeah, I don't know. We're just actively so stoked to keep writing music for things and maybe making a concept album that we dramatize or stage or something later on. So
When is this play coming out? Do they have a performance time yet?
yeah,
Or
there's
is it
going to be
still-
workshops, and she and her producing team are actively shipping it off to regional theaters to see if there's any interest for a world premiere sometime soon.
Yay!
That sounds. Oh, I want to go see that.
Yeah,
That sounds really fun.
yeah.
It's something
For the butt rock song?
Yeah,
just
just
for the
so
butt rock.
the butt rock song.
Yeah.
I will pay money just for that.
Yeah, it's a good one.
So now that we're learning about the true meaning behind butt rock, we have a question from our other intern, Vlad. and he wants to know how you guys came up with the name For You the Moon, and what's the meaning behind it.
God, we had so many names.
Yeah.
Are you ready to cringe,
Oh,
dear
yes,
listeners?
give us the rejected
Holy
ones.
cow!
Yeah.
Actually,
We were panhandle poets for a while. Sounds like the worst kind of folk outfit.
there was like basically a series of really, really bad names, and then there was a
King
series.
Me. We were King Me for a while. You know, when you play checkers, you get kinged. King Me.
Yeah.
Okay.
All of these were exclusively Googleable and not taken, but
Yeah.
horrible.
Horrible. So what ended up happening though was we then came up with a bunch of really good names that were awesome, but they were all taken.
Aw.
So
Yeah,
because
that really
like
happens a lot.
yeah,
Nobody
the
wants to
internet
get in fights.
exists now, and it's like anyone can come up with a band name and just like take it immediately. So,
What was a band name that you came up with that was already like out there?
Oh God! I mean,
There's
we're
just
talking
so
6
many.
years ago.
Yeah, it's been such a long time.
But I remember
I don't-
I was in a grocery. I was in Price Chopper of all places, upstate in Albany, New York, and Neil was texting me. My phone was freaking out because Neil was texting me all these different band name ideas.
Like
and then the
every day.
last one, it was like "Shot in the Dark," "For You the Moon," and I was like, "That's the one.
Yeah.
That's the one." I don't know why, but we both liked it a lot.
Yeah, I know why we liked it though, kind of too. It's just kind of like a name that has like a lot of interpretations maybe for it, like you
And
know.
it's a little wishy-washy, and we're definitely a little wishy-washy.
Yeah.
It's so cute though. I love it.
Yeah.
And we're
like-
cute. Sorry.
Yeah.
No, that was good. That was good. You were just like, you know.
But yeah, I don't know. I like the name. That's
Yeah,
it's nice.
we just like the name.
And it kind of just like I feel like it fits what we do because it's just kind of whatever we want. So
Yeah. Yeah.
So do you guys have any favorite shows or any favorite moments of being together in a band, whether it was something while you guys were doing an actual performance or just doing
Give
any
us the
sort of
highlights
writing?
of the career as a band.
I do definitely like. It's weird, but I feel like literally after we play a show like that, like those like 5 or 10 minutes, like immediately after we finish playing, I'm just like super, super pumped. And I'm just like, yes, we just did that. That was awesome. Like, that's probably for me, like definitely the highlight.
I think the highlight was our most recent show, which was at Secret Project Robot with my castmate Mary Spencer Knapp's band, Toot Sweet, and we have a song called Head in the Clouds that is kind of like a marching band song, and it's very
a bop.
jumpy. Jane says it's a bop.
It's a bop.
It's bop. We're bringing the bop back.
We're bringing the bop back, and in the beginning of the song, I jump. We jump in the beginning of the song because it's just so fun to jump on stage.
Yep.
And until that moment, every other gig we've played, it's just been Neil and I jumping.
Yeah.
Nary a soul in the crowd
Yeah,
jumping with
people
us,
just like
or not even head bopping, just like looking at us
Just like chilling.
as if we were sweet gerbils.
right.
Enjoying
Aw.
ourselves.
Definitely impressed by our ups though.
Yeah. Oh yeah. We got ups.
Yeah.
So this most recent gig was the first time in recorded history that the crowd was jumping with us.
Yeah.
So exciting. Hopefully they'll get the hint for shows to come.
Yeah.
That we're supposed to jump
We
now.
bring cue cards.
Yeah.
Now is the time to
Hold it
jump.
Jump.
Because we
Jump.
want the crowd to have fun. We're having fun. We want you guys to have fun.
We want to force them to have fun.
You will jump.
We're cute.
Okay, so I'm gonna start with the fun questions.
The
I mean,
Auburn
all the questions
fun
were fun,
questions?
but these
Yeah.
are like
Specifically fun.
specifically.
I'm
we
like a
have
little more
it
nervous for
labeled.
these.
Yeah.
Like
Now
you
for the
section
fun
off.
question. There's a little space between the bullets here for it.
Okay.
So, do you guys have
Words.
a favorite? Thank you. A favorite pre-show snack or beverage? People say beverages too, but
I mean, Red Bull.
Still
It's
Red Bull,
like,
right? Sponsor
sorry. Please sponsor us.
Yeah. Please sponsor us.
Do you have a favorite post-show snack?
So I guess more Red Bull.
I always.
We just don't go to sleep ever. It's like been like months at this point.
so you guys
just Red Bull.
don't sleep. You guys kind of
Strict liquid diet
Yep.
of Red Bull.
Like I said, Red Bull. I require fries after a gig. That's a thing that I've just come to know about myself. Fries, ambient, copious amounts of fries.
Yeah.
Like thin fries, steak fries, curly, or anything.
However they come. Just need them.
Just fries in general.
fries.
Okay.
Well, what's your latest Netflix binge?
I just finished Maisel, but I'm currently starting Grey's Anatomy from the beginning.
Ooh.
God, that's a good show, you guys. It's very good, but a very guilty pleasure. Mine.
You're gonna have a lot of feelings.
But we're more video game people,
Yeah.
Neil and I. We don't really watch TV.
Yeah, not a huge TV.
We're mainly Final Fantasy freaks.
Yeah, oh my god, I can't believe you said that on there.
I definitely did. I kind of just want our fans to know, all 2 of you.
Yeah.
I want you all to know.
So just me and Jane.
I just
I'm
want
like,
We
Just
kind of
Felicia
really
and
wanted
Jane.
you guys to know that we're really into Final Fantasy.
How many Final Fantasy games? I stopped playing after like 4.
Well, they have 15 now.
Oh.
We have 15 now, and
Well-
it's a travesty.
There's actually way
Why?
more than that, but they have 15 like numbered ones.
Exactly.
Oh, they have
Yeah.
like the spin-off ones.
Yeah, spin-off.
Exactly.
Okay.
Let's try to get your music into Final Fantasy.
Oh,
Yeah, you know.
that would be so
Actually,
cool.
Final Fantasy is in our music.
It really is. Actually, we do this song called "Clean Again," and it
Yeah.
basically is the battle theme to 7.
Yeah, it's pretty similar.
It's like the same. It's not basically, but it's like this very similar synth.
Yeah.
Very chunky synth.
Yep.
So, glad we came out. We came out, Neil.
Yeah. God.
That's
This is
it.
our coming
You
out.
guys
I'm
are so
embarrassed.
exposed.
Radio exclusive.
I'm really glad
here.
it's out
Play
there.
way too much still.
Okay, this is Felicia's favorite question.
My favorite question, and everybody else in this room knows it, except maybe Vlad. What's your favorite meme?
Oh, okay. Well, this is tough because I'm really kind of addicted. Okay, all right. I know what it actually is right now. I really like the cat one where he's like the guy's holding like a bowl of Fruit Loops or whatever, and the cat like wants the Fruit Loops really bad, and it's like, brother, may I have some loops? I don't know. That one though, definitely.
That's fantastic.
Hands down.
Neil did a Shrek 2 shout out at our last
Oh, yeah.
gig, and nobody got it.
Shrek 2 is a cinematic masterpiece.
Right.
It is the
Thank
best
you.
of all
Okay.
the Shreks
All
too.
right. See,
Shreks.
now we're talking. I was like, so this next song's about Shrek 2.
Silence. Start the track. Start the track.
Come on, go, go.
Cathryn.
Yeah.
It was
So,
good. It was good.
apparently our 2 fans that aren't you guys don't like memes.
Oh. Well, that's awkward.
What a shame.
So,
I'm
Big
disappointed.
I guess
Fans.
Big
3,
fans.
4
4,
fans?
4, 5.
We are
Do we
rising.
get one more? Oh,
Yeah.
total of 6.
My favorite meme, I'm, you know what's really stupid is that I'm a fan of the retro memes.
What, the OG memes?
The old ones, where
Yeah.
it was like the contemplative velociraptor,
Right.
and like
Back when there was
very
like some
old.
like, you know, kind of like rhyme or reason
And
to
actually, you know what? Rage comics too. I miss those. Like the weirdly drawn in like MS Paint.
it. Yeah.
Those were so good.
Memes.
Oh my god, and like the George Washington video. Do you know what I'm talking
Oh my
about?
god! Yeah.
Like, yeah.
God.
Wait,
Just
if you guys
old-
don't know the
old
George
trash.
Washington video, it's like so awesome. It's original internet trash.
So good. So bad.
It's wonderful. It's like poorly drawn comic and song, and it's really weird.
Oh. Yeah, good stuff.
I'd
guys.
probably listen to it like
Felicia, what's your favorite meme right
way
now?
too many
It's
times.
good pick me up.
Right now,
Yeah, or
I'm pretty sure. I think my favorite is for a long time. I think it's always going to be White Guy Blinking. I have it saved on my phone.
While she's pulling that up, I actually would like to revise my answer, which is the Elf on the Shelf, which was like last year. Because someone made Wake on a cake, and I felt famous for like a little second. Wake on a cake.
That's amazing.
Bring this up. White Guy Blinking.
Oh yeah.
I show it every
Yeah.
single interview.
Yep.
I always show it, and
White Guy
it's saved
Blinking.
on my favorites on my phone.
my favorite for the past bit, it's the Marsha Brady from the Brady Bunch, and she's like, sure, Jan. That one.
Sure, Jan.
I was stage managing a show, and whenever anyone was like, I'm gonna be late, I would just send that, and like, sure, Jan.
Oh my god. But they can get back at you because if you add an E, it's Sure Jane, and
That's
Felicia will just start being like Sure Jane.
that's why it's funny. And then I send her bye, Felicia.
Bye,
one.
Felicia.
Cathryn, that's actually why.
That's
it's
actually
funny.
the joke. I'll just see myself out. Can I keep the sippy cup open? Yes. I really want to keep the sippy cup.
That's why it's funny. So our next question is, what was the last photo you took with your phone?
Do we have to go into our phones? The last photo
Oh
I
my
took on
God.
phone.
We're gonna go there. Holy cow.
ahead.
Mine's really bad.
Oh man,
Oh god.
this is the answer we've
Oh
always
my
wanted.
god. Okay. Yeah, here. We're gonna do it to him.
Hold on, I'm ready. Okay.
So I was on my drive home or my drive down here this morning from Albany, and I sent out a picture of me in a public bathroom, like barely making it to the bathroom because I had to like pull off really quick. I was going like 80 miles an hour, and I was just like me in the stall, like So yeah,
And to whom did you send it?
everyone in my contacts list.
Poor Neil.
I'll see myself out.
Every time we ask this question, we're like, I hope it's not like nude. And it never is. This is the first time.
It's never wrong.
No one has had the
Noodles.
courage to tell you it was a nude
Yeah, they're
because I
all
have
lying.
a feeling.
Yeah,
I feel like some of them might be lying.
Now
but-
they've usually shown us the photos.
I'm just like
Oh yeah,
half
that's
nude.
true.
Half nude.
Luckily, I wasn't wearing these at that point because that would have been. Haven't really thought that part through yet.
The overalls, but the unbuckled overalls.
Right.
What was the last photo you took on your phone?
Oh God, you guys, mine was a swelfie, and I want to show myself out for just having said that. It was a swelfie.
Explain.
My family is grouped in a group text called #FitFam, and we send each other swelfies to encourage exercise, regular exercise. Mine was a swelfie, but I try to make them very ugly, like extremely ugly, like count the chins, like
Yeah.
just a multitude of chins. And
That's an obligation, I think.
Me on Snapchat.
yeah.
What a mood.
So mine was a swelfie. Not as interesting as a nude. I should have said it was a nude.
Yeah, probably should have gone with nude.
We had a really great story about it.
It turns out we're too honest here at City of the Moon. Also, me in
that's
a
good.
disgusting
Honesty is
way,
good.
you in a kind of lame way.
Very lame way.
You guys are like on two very separate spectrums of
Right.
being honest.
Yeah.
Mine always lame. Neil always disgusting.
Yeah. That's pretty true. Ouch.
Okay, what is your what is your perfect pizza?
Okay. I actually have this too. So it's like a really complicated one. It's spinach and artichoke, but also broccoli and olive at the same time. So
One would
What?
think they're mutually
Is it like
exclusive.
layers
but
on
not.
layers on layers.
Okay,
Yeah.
thin crust or
That's-
thick crust?
Thin crust.
Thin crust.
Wow, he's
Crispy.
like, he knows.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's my go-to.
I have yet to find a piece of pizza that is truly everything. Like everything. Like when you call the pizza place and you say, I want a pizza with everything.
I don't like everything.
I want a pizza with everything.
I don't like anything.
And I have yet to have any pizza place give me something with everything. They're like, oh, meat lovers? I'm like, no, every ingredient
In existence?
in existence
Okay.
on my pizza.
That you have
That
in
seems
Wow.
like a
place.
lot for one slice of pizza.
Yeah,
I
you're asking.
know.
You're asking
But
too
I
much. Your
want
demands
someone,
are unreasonable.
please, to make it happen. When we're famous and we get to like order only green M&Ms,
Right. Okay.
I want a
Yep.
pizza with everything on it,
Including
thick
green
crust.
M&Ms.
including green M&Ms.
thin or thick crust.
Oh, thin.
Well, wouldn't it have to be both?
I
All
feel like if
crust.
you want everything on it, you have to be like a thick crust because you just need something to support the
Yeah,
weight.
I'm
Unless you
I don't
do it
think
with
you've
your
thought
face.
this through.
Here's the science side of making pizza. Physics.
It's all math and science.
I
That's
don't
why.
like math.
That's why I haven't taken math in like 5 years. Pizza.
Because of pizza.
Okay, so finally, when is your next album or EP or collection of songs coming out?
Stay tuned, you guys. Maybe sometime this fall.
Yeah, probably sooner rather than later, actually.
Yeah.
Because we get to spend a lot of time together again this summer. So.
I got some regional theater jobs, which is super exciting, especially because they are close to Neil.
Yep.
So we get to spend the whole summer doing the same thing that we just did.
Yeah.
Recording a bunch.
Yeah, it's going to be really cool. I'm super pumped about it.
Yeah.
But we've also both been just like collectively writing, like, you know, bouncing ideas back and forth and just like writing individual songs and stuff anyhow. And really like we probably have like 10 plus on the table right now that, you know, obviously not all of them are the best song ever, but most of them are the best song ever.
Oh, great. I can't wait to hear all of them.
All
All of the
8.
best song ever.
All 8 of them.
Best song ever A, best song ever B.
Yeah.
It just keeps going.
Right.
Okay.
And when we get to
Album
Z,
name.
it just goes into
Best
numbers.
Album ever?
Album ever. Free the Moon.
And we'll just keep going like part 2, part 3 as we continue making the
Oh
best.
yeah, like Kohi.
Right.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
Yay,
Exactly.
we're excited.
That sounds like fun. I'm excited. I can't wait. Oh boy.
So, thank you for coming in. You can follow For You the Moon on the interwebs. We'll link it in this video and on our social medias. And you can follow them up and support them. And yeah.
Thanks for having us, guys.
And make us pizzas.
And please make us pizzas with everything on it.
Yay!